Hey guys, CB Warrior here. It's been a while, but I have another video coming to get you guys after a war where we did some kind of special, and that is we made all of our attacks in the last 15 minutes. And as you can see, we did come out on top by winning by tiebreaker by 0.2%. We really should have won by a star, but we had a guy get locked out for some reason in the last minute. Had an attack left, but it wouldn't let him use it, even though there was still a minute left. Not really sure what happened there, but it didn't end up hurting us. So, as you can see, it was a very close battle. They did 3-star our bottom 6 guys, and then also 3-star our number 4. We 3-starred all of their bottom 6 except for number 8, which is where the guy got locked out. And we managed to 2-star their number 3 and 2, 1-star their number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and start out by watching Bob hit and Graph, and he's going to come at it with a Dragloon. Starts out with his heroes in that top left, and they're going to kind of just create a bit of a funnel, take out that top air defense, and then pick up some trash buildings. So that way the dragons and the balloons will kind of come in from that bottom right corner, allowing them to get to the town hall and take it out along with all of the stuff and the junk in the middle there. And as you can see, he has those level 4 expos sitting right there in the middle. So that's a lot of DPS for him to work through. But with the dragons and the balloons and the clone spell there, as you can see, he's able to get through. And the dragons will eventually lock on to the queen and take her out, along with the town hall. So as you can see, he's able to get through that middle, like I said. And as he gets through the middle, you can see he's going to end up getting a very high percentage. This type of attack at Town Hall 11 is definitely effective and can be even done for a 3-star if done correctly, and with a lot of precision. Very difficult, but it is possible. But as you can see, he finishes up with a very high percentage 2-star, which for us and where we are as a clan is always a good thing, and we will take it. So good job, Bob. Keep it up, man. All right, the next one we're going to look at is number 1 Sun. And on this, he's bringing the mass miner attack. He's going to drop his heroes on the corners and have them walk down the wall, so that way his miners are going to go through the middle. Unfortunately, he does not take out the CC, and you'll see why that is unfortunate here in a little bit, as there is a dragon, max dragon in the CC, and it causes havoc to rain down on his miners. Had he been able to take the dragon out before it kills his miners, he might have ended up getting a 3-star on this. The other thing is, as you can see, his Grand Warden is already dead. One of the things when you're attacking the last 15 minutes, you make little mistakes, like sending your Grand Warden to air, which is exactly what happened right there. And he took a Seeking Air Mind and he bit the dust. But number 1 Sun is a fairly new Town Hall 11. So the miners and the bowlers are the first 2 things he did in his lab. But as you can see, the miners are working their way through his base, kind of ducking away from that dragon. but the dragon is eventually going to take its toll because every time it gets a breath off, it's doing serious damage to those miners. So the miners are very gradually going to become more and more thinned out. But again, a very high percentage 2-star against Town Hall 11. And like I said, for our clan, we'll take that anytime. And this attack is actually what gave us the victory. And you'll actually see here that the builder gets this, he gets the builder hut at the end here, this one miner which branches off from the rest. And I think that might have been what gave us that slight advantage in damage. So next we're going to look at Jabroni, who is also fairly new Town Hall 11. He's only been there, I think, about a month. Same with number 1 Sun. So they're fairly new Town Hall 11s. Or this clan that we were fighting, their Town Hall 11s had obviously been around for a while. He does have a slight wall breaker fail down here in the bottom right corner. But guys, anytime you see a base like this, a go bow witch is always a good idea. Enter in on the corners and then another group in the middle. The groups in the corners will funnel the group in the middle through the core. And with a jump spell, he is very easily, and in this case, 2 jump spells, he's very easily to get, he's able to get into the core, which allows him to take out the Infernos along with all those Teslas and even hit some of the splash damage that is along the middle, which allows the witches and the skeletons to continue to tank for the bowlers, because that's the biggest threat against this kind of attack is 1, the Infernos, and then 2, anything that does splash damage. The Queen is able to take out the Inferno there, and once that's down, the only threats that are really left are the Wizard Tower and the Mortar, which they can take out skeletons super fast. And because they're able to take them out super fast, they'll often retarget the witches. And when they do that and they take the witches out, this attack really has a high percentage of fail. But in this case, it does not happen, and Jabroni is able to bring the boom and get the 3 stars. Very nice job, Jabroni. Next attack is Armor of God, who got a 6-pack this war. And absolutely love this attack. Same attack strategy as Jabroni. Drops the wizards and the bowlers in the corners. Allows them to get the skeletons to where they're out front tanking. And actually dropping them further back in the corners is not a bad idea in this case. Drops a nice shallow jump spell there, getting him to that long corridor. And keeps his troops from going off to the side and then back out. And that's really good because then he's able to drop this second jump spell further down, which gives him access to pretty much the center of the base and about 90% of the base from there. So the bowlers are just tossing those rocks. They're skipping everywhere, taking everything out. Queen's able to step up and get some very important buildings. Witches and bowlers along the outside. The top does fizzle out because that wizard, like I said, splash damage, was able to take out those skellies and then targeted the witch and took her out. Now this golem and this giant down here, you'll see come up real big here in a little bit as the skeletons, the bowlers here, the wizard, and those 2 witches make their way around. The Queen takes out that Tesla, which causes them to retarget and push along the outside. And that giant is going to tank that Tesla just long enough for everything to just kind of work its way through. The witches and the wizard would have definitely eventually gotten through. It just would have taken a lot longer. It might have caused issues as far as time-wise. But the Tesla locks into that giant, does eventually kill it, retargets to skeletons. By that point in time, it's way too late. And armor brings the boom for the 3 stars. Next, we're going to look at Armor of God second attack. Bringing the same attack strategy, coming from this bottom, and kind of creates that funnel, uses bowlers with the skips to get into the second compartment there. Kind of creates a nice little funnel moving forward as he's able to take out 2 sets of buildings at the same time. That's one of the beautiful advantages to the bowlers, is the skips and the ability to get buildings that are further up. Brings 2 jumps, gets to the core. Second jump gets him out of the core. A rage in the core helps everything to move along. And then he's going to drop the second one here just shortly. There you go. Which just allows the bowlers to kind of just get those rocks fleeing really far. You can see this group of bowlers over on the left is actually going to get skips. And those skips allow it to take out both that cannon and the wizard tower. Not wizard tower, my bad. The archer tower, which is phenomenal. Step over and take out some of these other buildings, including some splash damage, which, like I said before, is the one concern in this attack style. Now, all of his bowlers basically bite the dust there, but he's got plenty of witches still up with the queen, a wizard, and 1 bowler. And that golem there in the center is tanking the wizard tower and that cannon, and that just allows the queen, along with all those other troops, to just work their way around and very easily take out the wizard and that cannon. So all that's left is that archer tower, which just from the skeletons alone stands no chance, let alone the queen, the bowler, and the witches. They're able to clear out the last remaining buildings, no problem. So Great War armor, boom, there's the 3 stars. So last attack is going to be Mr. Jaboo, bringing the same style, guys. This attack style at Town Hall 10 can be very effective. Now, Mr. Jaboo kind of comes at it more like a spam. Unlike Jabroni or Armor of God, who kind of started more with a wide funnel and then funnel to the middle. And guys, I'm going to say right now that is definitely the better way to do it, because as you're going to see here in 2 seconds, boom, there was 2 giant bombs, and look how many dead skeletons and witches there are. Absolutely put a hurting on him. That's one of the things about making several different entries, is that your troops kind of get split up, and a set of bombs like that isn't going to hurt you as badly if it does go off. But he's got the golem on the bottom with those bowlers, which allows the bowlers to do work while the golems do all the tanking. And at the top, the queen is able to be tanked by all of those skeletons. Unfortunately, splash damage takes out those skeletons, which means that the witches do end up getting targeted. And when they are targeted, they go down rather quickly, even to lower defenses, which this base had a lot of Town Hall 8 max defenses. So obviously this wasn't a max Town Hall 9, let alone really Town Hall 10. But nonetheless, Mr. Jaboo has been at Town Hall 10 for a little while now, but is far from being maxed out. But it's down to the queen, and unfortunately though, the queen is more than up for the challenge of 3-starring what is left. Takes out the last defense, and has plenty of time to get the cleanup done. So Jaboo, boom, good job, man. It was a great war. Take advantage of an opportunity like this. Make it more interesting, guys. Do something like this, where you do all your attacks in the last 15 minutes. A lot of guys were saying how excited they were. They're anticipating it and really looking forward to it and really enjoyed it. So if you're looking to spice things up a little bit, this is definitely a good idea. So have a good one, guys, and I'll see you next time.